On the two main things I want to talk about is that on this out route, you start to raise your chest up a little bit. You start to pick that chest up right before you make this break. And if this is a DB in an off man look or maybe even a zone look in some occasions where he's going off a feel, or if you got a guy running hip to hip with you like it's man coverage, he can feel yourself start to rise up. He can feel your pad level start to raise. And that's an indicator for him to go make a play on this thing, or for him to just put the brakes on and try to make a play on this thing, right? So you see how when you're here on this out route, you have great pad level right here, right? This is great. This is a great position to be in. I like the break too. That's how your coach wants you to run it, with that like snap 2-3 with that 3-step break at the top. That's fine too. I'm not going to be too picky about the steps that we take, because especially when it's a deeper out like this, it's harder to go just off a straight speed cut or maybe a rocker step or whatever. You got to obviously be able to work those things in, but this is fine. I'm not mad at the break. It's just what we do before the break. So you see how you come here and that chest starts to raise just gradually. If I could stay here the entire time and then just be able to snap right now, you won't have to drop your chest as much, if that makes sense. You could be able to just run into this thing and you have your chest already in an explosive position. You can just drop your hips and your chest is already in that position where you could drive out, and you don't do it with an indicator. But when you watch it full speed, you can kind of see it, how you're running, chest pops up just a hair, right? It's just a hair, but again, I'm going to be picky about this because I want you to get better. So we got to focus on keeping my chest in the same spot, same pad level. My eyes are up, and I'm able to just cut right now, because that's how I get separation. That's so hard to cover as a DB, okay? So now, on this rocker step, or this triple rocker step, because we're going to look at the post, you see how your hands kind of go like lateral, right? Like it's like we're here, and I don't really know like a good term for that, other than like your hands are just swinging laterally across your body. You want to try to run your hands, right? Because here, think about it like this. Like, what are we trying to sell with this move? We're trying to sell like we're going post, back to the corner, back to the post, right? And ain't nobody runs a post with their hands swinging side to side across their body, right? They run a post like if you break on a normal post or a normal corner, you're cutting off of that outside leg, let's say it's a post, and you're taking your right arm and you're ripping across your body. You're taking that left arm and you're ripping behind yourself, and you're running. So if you can get to that point where when you break here and you break off of this leg, you're almost running your hands rather than going out wide like this. And that's a problem I have too, that you want to swing that arm across your frame like you're running. You want to swing that left elbow behind, because if you swing those arms again and this DB's off or this safety's off, he's going to be looking at your hips, and he sees your arms and your whole body ripped to the opposite side. That's what's going to make him jump, right? So I think that's something on this rocker step that you could do a little bit better of, rather than going lateral with my hands. Try to run with my shoulders. Let my shoulders swing me. Let my shoulders swing my arms, and that gives me more of a powerful movement with my upper half. It helps me to be a salesman a little bit better, because I'm selling this thing more with my arms, right? Because when I used to coach safeties, and I hated it, but I would tell him like, hey dude, just watch the guy's hands, right? Because if he's going to be running a fade, he's going to be pumping those arms, right? And if he's going to chop down, and this is a high school level, so these guys are, obviously not some of the best route runners, and if they're going to break it off and they're going to run like a curl or something, just watch their hands get real fast, right? And that's something that you got to be able to understand as a receiver, that I got to make it all look the exact same. You got to make this look like a post, or make this look like a corner off a rocker with my arms running, right? And then we look at the next clip, a little bit of the same here, and I like the steps. I think this could be maybe a little bit further outside your frame. Like, I don't want to say reach, but I want to make sure it's a normal stride. I don't want to run a rocker step and just do it inside of my frame, right? So try to make it normal in stride. Don't shorten up that stride. Just nice and normal. And I think another thing too, we might be a little bit tense up here, and this will help with my arm drive and swinging from my shoulders. You want to be completely relaxed with your upper half. If you're loose with your upper half and your hips are loose, when you go 1-2, you could really throw your upper body. It's not like I'm super tense and I'm not breathing, right? So I think those are the main things you could work on, right? When you're running out route, any kind of single cut break, pad level is everything. You got to be a salesman first. And then when we're working a rocker step break, it's the same idea I was talking about with those hands, right? You see how your hands kind of swing side to side, right? And we're not running them. You want to swing from those shoulders and drive. You want to be here, and swing my shoulders. Go 1-2, swing my shoulders. That's what gives me power, and that allows me to move my body more, especially if I'm relaxed, like I said, okay? So I hope this gave you some value. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions on any of this, please don't hesitate to ask.